Well, Xander, I know there's a few weeks to go in this season, but right now, how would you describe what your first year with the Padres has been like?
Obviously, a lot of up and downs. A lot of up and downs. Definitely not happy to be able to contribute the way I want to. And that kind of sucks. Obviously, the second half has been better, but that's one of the parts that really sucks. And I know if we don't make it to the postseason, it'll definitely be a long off season for me personally.
This team had a lot of expectations coming in. Go to the NLCS last year. They signed you. Tatis comes back, and it's been really a rough season. When that happens, there's usually a lot of change at the top. Do you expect that there could be some changes coming to your coaching staff?
Well, that's out of my control. I come here, I prepare, and I try to be the best teammate, best leader that I can be. And I feel like that's where I contribute best is on the field and obviously in the clubhouse. But not being able to play the way we want to as a team, that's obviously there's going to be a lot of speculation, a lot of talk, and I really have no answer for that or what will happen. We still have 40 games, and I really hope we can get on a very special run to make this season one that will be even special if we can be able to get on that run that we all have been kind of preaching about and waiting for.
At your intro presser, you spoke a lot about joining a pretty stacked roster. But I'm also curious, how much of the appeal process was Bob Melvin and the reputation that he has in baseball?
Obviously, I played against him a lot when he was at Oakland. Obviously, he's a great manager. He had some really good teams also back then with Oakland, with Donaldson and Stephen Vogt. All those guys, they had a good run over there. So I would say maybe it's a different little roster compared to the ones that he had in Oakland. That money ball, that talk over there. But now here I have one where there's a lot of money involved, and as I said, when you're not playing the way you want to as a team, and maybe as a manager, him feeling like some of the moves that he makes personally don't always work out. It can be very frustrating on a personal level.
I know I've asked you several times about having a lot of big dogs in this clubhouse and what it takes to go ahead and get to know guys. How difficult is it for a manager when you've got so many different personalities to go ahead and manage?
Can't even imagine, to be honest. And I know he cares a lot. He's been very open, communicating very well. I can speak on my level, and obviously in meetings and stuff, he's a guy that's very positive, very optimistic. But yeah, I have a lot of nights that I don't sleep, and I can only imagine he's probably in that same boat with me.
What's it been like for you here? I know that winning would solve a lot of different things. Is living here, is everything about this clubhouse, this city, what you expected, or is it still kind of a work in progress?
It's what I expected and even more, even better, to be honest with you. San Diego was always one of the top places that I wanted to come since it was my first All-Star game in 2016, and I came in the summertime, and it was kind of reminding me a lot like home, like Aruba, but I remember once free agency and stuff started, my first time I signed an extension. Tatis was there, Manny was there, so I was like, it's a little tough, obviously I like the city and whatnot, but it's crazy how everything kind of worked around and kind of ended up still one of the places that I would have loved to play once in my career, so it's been nice.
I know one of the first questions I asked you in spring training was about getting to know Tatis, and you said you hadn't talked to him yet, you were going to go ahead and talk to him. What have you noticed about him, how he's adjusted during the good and the bad? One thing I say about these guys in here, man, is that they're really willing to play through injuries. I'm not saying in the other teams that I've been a part of, they've not done that. Yes, they have also, but like Manny, man, I see him some days and he don't have it, and he still pushes himself, and it's not a guy that's going to take himself out of the lineup, So seeing that from in the clubhouse and just being around these guys every day, it's very appreciative of not being able to be 100%, but still want to go out there and help the team. How has the Manny-Xander relationship evolved since day one? It's always different adjustments coming in, but...
Me and Manny? Nah, we cool. We have no issues. I know we saw some stuff early on. Hey, people can just make up stories, and it was so far from the truth, and I guess those things just happen when you're not going well as a team. When you're not going well as a team, people try to look for excuses, try to pinpoint one person, and I feel like that's how it's been this whole season, to be honest. It's either pinpoint someone, or the manager, or the coaches, the players. It's just, and that's what happens when you lose. If you win, none of that happens. And that's what we haven't been able to do is win.
If I had told you, my last thing, if I had told you in day one of spring training this team would not have an extra inning win, would not have won 4 games in a row, what would you have said to me?
The extra inning one, I mean,
That's a little bit fluke.
yeah, I don't even worry about that because we could have probably gone 162 games without even going to extra inning, you know. But the one without winning 4 games in a row, that's a shocker. That is the one that's a shocker. Extra innings is, I mean, whatever, you know, like, but the 4 wins in a row with what we got, that's a shocker.